The storyteller from Tanzania Karibu President Association. So we are there only to give information about the demo, the river, the turbines, and the lady yeNyaminyami. So I just want to brief everything short in summary. So the word Kariba is different from the word Kariba, and those guys from Matiglev they couldn't pronounce and call it Kariba. Same as they did with the word Matusadon. I don't want to say anything about vulgar. Let me proceed. Same as they did with the word yeNyaminyami, should be Nyamanyama or Tekawajito. The white people couldn't pronounce and call it yeNyaminyami. They did before on the Kariba game. So yeNyaminyami, the actual word should be Nyamanyama or meat. In terms of that, when things are tough, they used to split right kumbira and brings out the part of the tail, and the cat, mutton, beef, pork, and variety of meat come from the same place. That's why they name it yeNyaminyami, and they couldn't pronounce and call it yeNyaminyami. So the believers, they say the yeNyaminyami, there were two female and the male, and the male went down into Lake Kaborobas to find food for the female. It's what we do. The men always fight for their ladies. The time wanted to return it was now in 1960s. Found Queen Elizabeth was final official. There was not a demo, so it couldn't cross over. But the time it returned, we experienced some tremors and all the stuff, and we witnessed that with the spiritual medium. That's the cause of the yeNyaminyami. So what they did, they gave the stick, which is yeNyaminyami stick, in order for the generation and generation to inherit what was happening before. So what they did, they kept this stick in order for the generation and generation to inherit what was happening. So this is the stick, which is yeNyaminyami stick. They kept this stick in order for the generation and generation. So I'm going to point everything and further expagorate it. So it looked like a fish on the top and looked like a snake at the tail. Even you can know Solomon fish. It looked like a fish on the top and looked like a snake at the tail. But this one is now spiritual. The believers, they believe in this. They say this is a river god, our lucky charm, our provider of everything. So I'm going to point everything. This one, we call them the hippo teeth. And this one a crocodile's tail. And this one represents the tail of a snake. And these are the waves found in the Zambezi River, just because this yeNyaminyami live in the Zambezi River. And this one is a mopani tree. They use mopani tree for domestic use. Beside that, if we cut the log of palm tree and put into our water, it will turn up into a stone after 40 to 50 years. We call it a petrification or petrified wood. When the time the stream pass, they pass through the mines and carry out the fine particulars of minerals, and then later they deposit it into the water. Time and time it end up set up on a mopani tree. After 100, 200 years, it will end up into a stone. It will look like this one. So if you visit Kariba, you're going to see some of the stones like this one, which were turned from wood to stone. These are the Tonga people. They're enjoying ceremony, hitting drums and all the stuff. The owner of this land, we call them the Tonga. They were dispersed during the period of 1950 up to 1959. Why? Just because they were warned about the massive war. But they were ignorant again, which is 23,000. They will remain in Zimbabwean side, which is southern side. And the other 29,000, they remain in Zambian side. And the other 86,000, they did not go anywhere. They said, no, we are not going anywhere, just because they know this area, the alluvial soil, which is fertile soil. Besides that, they were staying with the grandfathers graveyards. So this one is Daga, marijuana, Mpanje. The smokers of marijuana, Mpanjere, they were both sex, female and males. The males, they used to walk on leaves, but the women, they couldn't. They use a pipe, which is a smoking pipe. Top, there will be fire in ganja. Inside, there will be water in order for trapping nicotine in tar. Or those smoking is harmful to health. Nowadays, they call it shisha. These are now ornaments. Bangles used to wear by the ladies in order to decorate themselves. But nowadays, they've adopted the Western countries' attitude and behavior. They are now wearing my plastic stuffs and all the stuff, which is letting down the yeNyaminyami. Even it needs to represent itself. If you call upon it, it will never represent itself. This is the shelter. These Tonga people, they used to live in a shelter again. Inside, there is a ball. We call it a magic ball for prediction. They do not just visit, but they consult with the spiritual medium. And they check this one in. When the ball goes to the north or east, where it faces, they focus on that direction. Why? Just because there will be fertile soil, green pastures. Outside, there is the herbs for curing any disease. They do not visit to the hospitals. They focus on the traditional healers. They do not visit to the general hospitals. This is the yen of the chief. We call them the chief. Kariba is holding the history of the Tonga people. At the same time, is holding the oxen tail. for wiping away some flies. So 17 days of carving this stick, no any joint, just one piece of wood. The covers they use Sairinga, Mohogan, Tick, and Mopan. So this is the chapter of the yeNyaminyami. I think it's closed. I hope the questions will come when the time, the day you visit here. So it's my pleasure to you to share with you about the yeNyaminyami. Hence, when I need to proceed to the massive wall, which is our massive wall, which was built during the period of 1955 up to 1959. 1960 it was officially opened by Queen Elizabeth II, the one who designed the wall, called Andrew Cohen from France, and the company who built the wall, we call it Implicit from Italy, combining the Nyasaland and the north and the south, and the people who were living this side. So in terms of the length of the massive wall, the east side we are stepping, we are on the southern side, and that side is our northern side. From the north, from the south crest to the north crest, in terms of the length, 617 meters, height is 128 meters. Width on the top is almost 18 meters, but the base is 24 meters. We have got almost 6 floodgates. Floodgates are those on the middle of the wall. The purpose of those floodgates to relieve so that the wall cannot hold too much volume of water. It will lead up to the weakening of all around the structure. So each of the floodgates per second splits almost 1,524 cubic meter per second within the blink of your eye. Estimation within 3 hours consecutive, if you know lecture, it will be saturated using one floodgate. So since 1960 up to 2013, that's the time 3 May the last had opened those floodgates. Why? Just because the water level was still high. So in the type of the cement they use, because the chalanga, they say within the blink of your eye, within a second it dries. So we believe that inside the wall there is almost 11 guys, which is 5 Africans and 6 Europeans, who were stuck. Why? Just because it was instant. Within the blink, if there was no anyone surrounding you, the next thing they'll come with another bucket of concrete and pour on top of you. Why? Just because there were no time, which is there were limited time for removing someone, so they'll just come with another bucket of concrete and press it. So hence on, from the 1960 up to 2013, the water was coming out from those floodgates, so was undermining down the street up to 80 meters deep. So they engaged the company from France, which is Brazil, and they came here. What they did, they built and covered them, and then they put in some slides. After that, they drained the water so that they can able to work down there. And what they did, they introduced some terracing. Terracing which means they will be now reinforcing. So terracing will reduce the land degradation, like this photographic. I hope you understand much better when you see on the photographer. So in terms of the turbines now, let's on to the turbines. We have got almost 6 turbines to generate the northern side. Down the stream there we've got almost 6 turbines generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each and every turbine they've got almost such amount of volume of water needs to be turned per day. So most of the time Zambezi River Authority, they are the ones who own the wall and the maintenance of the wall, and who sells the water allocation to Zimbabwe and Zambia. When they sell 10,000 cubics to both countries, they are going to divide, which is 5,000, 5,000. If Northern Bank or Southern Bank exhausts its allocation, it will wait for the next allocation. So which means one day they will just say, and that's the time the load shedding began and all the stuff. So here in Zimbabwean side, which is southern side, we've got almost 8 turbines to generate electricity, but most of the time they use 2 turbines. Why? Just because the allocation of water will be filled. I think that's it, Lord. Thank you. I hope everyone, when you see this video, you're going to share it day by day, day by day. My name is Mhuriro. I'm there for you to save the world.